So hi, this is the login page for this maintenance management system. So I have created a company called abc.com where I have configured all the parameters. So the administrator login is admin at abc.com. So I'm just logging into this as administrator to see all the configuration features. So as you can see, the system is very modular. We have a section for setting up the organization, and then what are the functions. I'll explain to you in detail about this. And these are certain things which are futuristic in nature, though we are not going to use this for the current demo. Then we have a workflow setup and communication setup. So now I'm going to the organization setup. So this gives you a complete flavor of all the parameters that are required to set up an organization. So if you can see, the first one is a unit configuration. So under ABC organization, I have created two units, plant one and plant two. And under each plant, I can create any number of units which I have. So for example, I have just created a CDU and FCCU for demo purpose. It could be anything as required by the customer. I also created sample departments. So the departments are the ones which provide the maintenance function. So basically, I've just created three departments: instruments, electrical, and pumps at the organization level. This could again, depending from customer to customer, you can add more or whatever it is, you can just configure that. And these are some of the users which we have configured. So user types, basically we have organization admin, and these are organization normal users for the organization. You want to create login for customer vendor, you can do that as well. Right. So here you can see I have created many, almost 30 users for the demo purpose. And I also mapped the users to whichever department. For example, if you go into the instruments, you can see who are all the various users and how they are configured. So from the list of organizations users, you can configure the set of users who belong to the instruments. For example, these are the login IDs of the users who are falling under instruments, right? So similarly, you have vendor definition in case if some of the items or equipments are supported by a vendor. So you can define who are the vendors and things like that. And this is more from the reporting perspective. All open work orders can be classified into either it is open or waiting for scheduling or in progress, postponed for shutdown, cancelled or on hold. Right. So it's for that purpose. And this feature is more for configuring the mail. I have not configured it. So if you want automated mails to be sent, you will need to configure it here so that mails can be sent from that whatever you have configured your email ID, and it can go to all the users as per your configuration. So that is in respect to organization setup. And now in terms of functions, basically we are classifying, see, basically this application is a common application. You can link to any of the applications, like you want to incident management, you can develop it and configure it here and things like that. So what we have done is for each of these plant, we have created maintenance as a function. So for example, so if you take plant one and crude unit, we have defined maintenance as one function. So each plant will have this maintenance as a function. So tomorrow you want to include incident management or permit tracking and all, you can have separate functions for each of these. Then you have various roles which have been defined. So you can see operations manager, shift manager, division head, unit head, department head, maintenance staff. So I also created few user specific roles, primary contact and secondary contact. Primary contact are the ones for whom the ticket will be initially sent. For example, if it is a department head or department engineers, they can be the primary contact. And secondary contact are the actual staff technicians who go to the field. So we have created them as a secondary contact. So you have a feature to configure all the roles and map them to the users as well. So you can see, for example, you'll take plant one. So you can see whichever we have created for each role, I have created some user. Similarly, you can create a team of all configuration technicians and all you can create. And locations are nothing but you divide the plant into multiple locations like boiler area, furnace area, things like that. And you also define the various equipments. See here, basically for each unit, for let us take for example, I just created some sample equipments. So under plant one crude unit, we have the equipment owner is instrumentation. This is a location, and I have F10101 is a flow. It is a critical equipment, and here all critical equipments I define the frequency of preventive maintenance. I do it once in 8 days as recommended by the OEM vendor. And I also mentioned when you configure it once, the first time you tell what is the last date of maintenance. And if this item is under warranty, you can specify who is a vendor and whether it is under AMC, what is the AMC end date. If it is under warranty, what is the warranty end date. So like this, you can create all the equipments. And the idea is to, we want to create an Excel where you can upload all the equipments. Right now it is not there, but we will have it in the subsequent release. And here we have also created some sample equipments meant for spinning. For example, you can see here cording, simplex 1, simplex 2. So cording is I have put one equipment with a PM check of 15 days. And then I have simplex 1 and simplex 2 with PM check of 10 days. I also have something on LD simplex 3 we have created and LD2 drawing. Some 4 or 5 equipments we have created here. Right? And then we have also created failure codes basically, which will tell about what could be the possible root cause of the work order failure of the equipments. For each instruments, I have created calibration error, barrier problem, sensor damage, electrical, it could be winding error, and for pumps, it could be vibration I, bearing temperature I, and all. So you can create all the problem codes. And for tracking the cost, we also have a cost category where we have other costs, production loss, material cost, and manpower cost. And this is a frequency-based task creation, which is nothing but your cleaning, inspection, lubrication task, which is done on a frequency-based items. So I have defined some of the tasks for demo purpose. For example, check the temperature of the field panel room, check UPS supply output for electrical. For pumps, it's lubricating the pump P101. And then for instruments, some of the things which we have given in the Excel sheet for spinning, simplex maintenance and lubrication, blow room, Unimix, LB7 4R lubrication to be done, carding PM checks to be done, carding yearly PM checks to be done. So what is the duration of the task? What is the frequency of the task? And when it was last done. So all this is updated here so that the system will prompt you whenever it is due. Next, I will also quickly cover the workflow aspects. See, I have created a workflow called maintenance, which is applicable for all maintenance, this thing. So you can see the workflow flowchart for maintenance will be displayed here. So you can see you can raise a work order from web form, or you can raise frequency-based preventive maintenance work order from the system, or raise a condition-based work order from the system. So this will go to the operations manager. All work orders will go to the operations manager first, and either he can put the work order on hold, or he can move it to shutdown, or work order can be cancelled, or it could be approved. Once it is approved, it is assigned, it is goes to the department head or the department primary contact, who then assigns it to the next staff. So that is a secondary contact for the department. And then the department head could also put it on hold, or it could after the assignment, it can be either put on hold or it could be completed. And if it is completed or put on hold, it can resume it at a later date and for completion, and then close the work order. So this is a sample workflow which we have created. And these workflow, whatever we have created, are created as a sequence of events. Raise a work order, review and analyze work order, approve work order put on hold, move to shutdown, cancel work order. So whatever flow chart you saw, it's converted into a sequence of events. The next step, what we do is we define the event sequence. See, you can see here after the first event, raise a new work order. The review and analyze work order is the second event. After the second event, it could the operations manager could either approve the work order or put it on hold, or he can move it to shutdown, or it could cancel the work order. Right? After approval of the work order, the next one will be work order assigned to staff, and after work order put on hold, it could be approve work order, and so on. So after each event, after event 1, it is event 2. After event 2, it could be 3, 4, 5, or 6. After 3, it is 7. Like that, we can configure the complete sequence. See here, you can see the status of all the workflow events. So these are the events which we have configured. And as part of the sequence, the status is new here. It is waiting for approval. Work order approved. It's on hold or moved to shutdown. Work order cancelled. It is assigned, on hold, work in progress, and closed. And this reporting status is a status for reporting purpose, where we classify it into the 5 or 6 buckets which I explained earlier. So it could be all tickets could be either open, waiting for scheduling, work in progress, postponed for shutdown, cancelled, or on hold. So we have mapped it. And there are certain extra design elements which I'm not explaining now. But if you want to navigate from one workflow to another, it is possible. And here we have also given certain fields for assigning an event or effort logging or switching off the SLA clock and all. And lastly, in terms of the workflow, we have to give the access for each role for the workflow. So for each event, we have given which who has access to update. For example, if you take the role as operations manager. So these are the various roles. This operations manager has access to all events. But if I give it to department head, he has access to certain events, right? So like this, you can primary contact, let us say primary contact. He has access to certain events. So as per the workflow, whenever whichever event is there, whoever has access can update it. And we also have a priority of the work orders. It could be high, medium, low. And then classification of the work orders, it could be breakdown maintenance, preventive maintenance, condition based, and other things. I also have a communication setup. This I have not configured it, but the main purpose of this is to send out email communications based on various conditions. For example, new work order issued or work order closure notification, you can create that. And you also have templates, which is a HTML format. I have not configured it here, but you can configure the HTML template, and you can also define the distribution list. You can define the various conditions under which the mail will be sent, right? And you can have a mailing list also. For each condition, you can tell to whom all it could be, mail should be sent. I have not configured this here, but nevertheless, these are some of the things which are available as an administrator.